Hi traders, it's Christine. It's 1.5 hours away to closing bell and here we are. The market is still not finding bottom. This is a live feed right here. What's going on in the market? The S&P 500 is down by almost 3% and right here, live look in the 30 minutes. Let me just zoom it a bit so we can see what's going on. And still we have no bottom. We are trading at lows. And the Qs are trading minus 3.76%, Amazon 3.7%, Alphabet minus 4, Tesla minus 2.4, and Apple is down by 5%, which is pretty big. The top index for the S&P 500, and Microsoft is down by 3.79%. A little recap on why the market is tanking today. It's because of China devalued its currency. And on top of that, they announced to halt all the agricultural orders from the US. And Apple, as we can see here, dropping by 5.3% because all we know that Apple's growth is coming from China. On technical basis per se, if you have been watching my video, I have noted the S&P 500, if we break the 287 support, we're not going to have anything solid other than the 281 and the 278. The problem with this kind of sell-off is this is a big sell-off and induced by geopolitical. We don't know when would the bottom, but technical here, the drop has been fast. And I would say, even though I don't have an RSI here, just using the pivots, again, I'm doing this every day and I'm looking by the tick by tick for the S&P 500, the bids, the sell every day. And so kind of like feel how I have the feel on how when the sellers or the buyers start stepping in. But for now, everything is still on the sell side bias. And just to highlight this, the last correction that we had was back in December right here, the triple top, and this is like almost 18% correction. And then the May, it's just probably around 10 or 12%. And still right here, the 300 to 283 is just about 6% correction. If we're gonna shoot over 10%, then we're gonna be here below 200-day moving average at 271 and more. But then my personal target for the S&P 500, I always ever since this year, for my portfolio management, I always sent a monthly report for my clients, and I have been very consistent on my target for the S&P 500 or the SPX. My target remains at 2,700 for the fair value. Why? Although the earnings has been stellar, I do not like the debt ratio that I'm seeing. That's what makes me cautious alongside with the US and China trade truce. So back into technical per se right here, this is our S&P 500. And for a request for the QQ, the NASDAQ, it's here. We're looking at this and look at the YTD. So for the person who requested the Qs, I call the QQQQs because it's a lot easier and it's been abbreviation. I always look the SPY and the Apple and the Amazon because those are the heavy top weights of the Qs. Kind of like you see those and you know where the Qs are going. I know for some traders, they look at the Qs and then they switch into Amazon, but it's just my personal style. My top focus is the S&P 500 along with Amazon, Apple, Google, and Microsoft. I rarely watch it. So those are the things that I see, I watch, and then use that tool, the gauge where the market is going. Because like I said, as the more you stay in the market, the more you see, the more you get seasoned you are, you start to develop the feeling in the market, you start to sink in. So again, technical basis right here, I'm just using the candlestick, the Japanese candlestick. I like it because for me, it's easy to see. And as you can see, nothing is fancy about my technical tools. I'm just using the simple moving average, the 20, 50, and 200, which is pretty basic, but for me it works. Because I factor 75% on my analysis on pivots. The 25%, you can add whatever it is. But the biggest weight for me is the pivots. This the 195 tops on the Qs. Let's put it here. The record high on the QQ. The record high on Qs at 187.35 right here. This is double top, coincide with Apple. If you have been following my social media, I started to lean bearish on the techs and the entire market because one that I really find red flag for me is that the Qs are making record highs, but along with it, Amazon failed to make a record high. It's only Microsoft actually. Let me show it to you. Here is the Microsoft, the record high, but on Q's top, the Amazon has been shortfall on the record high. We only got the 2035, and over a year span, the record high is 2060. And then Apple, although it made a great comeback from December and May lows, again, the Qs made a record high, but Apple fell short, the 230. And then the Facebook right here, same thing, same story. It's 218, but then fell short. Same with Google, the rally. You can see here, the earnings pop fell short again with the record high. So these are the things that made me lean bearish, because I saw that Qs were making record high, but along with the top heavyweights, only one is following it, Microsoft. So I figure, well, this could be probably a red flag. So here we are right now. We are correcting. The market is correcting. The Qs are not far from S&P 500 technical pivot wise. Again, it's under 20 and 50-day moving average. And a lot of traders thinking this 180, we are down by almost 4% right now, that would hold. I don't think it would hold. Because if you look at this, the intensity of selling right here is pretty big. And I don't see any viable support until 200-day moving average. If we could probably find mini support at 178, it's still not out of the woods. I would like to see the Q to be up 182 and above to maybe stop the bleeding, and switching to 60 minutes for the Qs. It's right here. It's pretty much bearish. You can see this continued selling like the S&P 500 and also the Amazon, the Qs, the Amazon. It's right here. You can see if the Amazon continues to fall like this from 2030, from the prime day up to 1751, I wouldn't bet long on the Nasdaq. I need to see above everything else before I start leaning in the Qs. I would like to see Amazon find the support and make a full percentage closing at least, or right now we are at 1750. At least, you know, I'm gonna lower the bar 1770, then maybe the Qs will start rebounding. At this point, Amazon is pretty much in the daily time frame. It has entered and oversold. We are actually at oversold right now. Amazon just straight flush to the 200-day moving average right here at 1750. Will this hold? Maybe, because it's still oversold. But remember, oversold can stay oversold and overbought can stay overbought. It really depends on the market. And also, this is the day one since China has announced devaluing its currency, plus halting all the agricultural orders from the U.S. And we don't know what could the U.S. Trump administration could do to retaliate it, and this could get worse. So at this point, this is the technical, but far more you have to wait on the news, because technical analysis, it's just follow the macro news. But this is the ultimate support right here at 1680. But for personally, if I see Amazon at 1730.20, I will start leaning bullish on it. Probably short-term bounce. because everything takes a process in the market. Even so, they are on downtrend. There will still be some days with a green day. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something from it. Subscribe into my channel, press the notification bell, and please like my videos. My daughter was always correcting me. She always tell me, "Mommy, it's not notification bell." So I remember that today. I always say notification button. Thank you, and I hope you're having a great day in the market despite of this swinging, and you're having a profitable trading day. Thanks.